What do you guys think of? A graph? That looks like what? Straight line, right? It's a straight line. The word linear means it's a straight line, right? So your table, for example, right? If you take the edge, it's a straight line, right? So a linear relation, it's represented on a graph by a straight line. It could be going up, right? Line. It could be going, this doesn't want to go down, right? It could be going down as a straight line. It could be horizontal. That's not as horizontal as we want it to be. Or it could be vertical, okay? These are all examples of straight lines, okay? Now, the question is, how do I write straight lines in math? How are they represented in an equation in math, okay? So the general term of an equation, of a linear equation, is ax plus by c equals 0. Okay? So you're going to see that a, b, and c, they're going to be numbers. Okay? X and y, they're going to stay as letters. And is represented by a straight line. Now, do you guys remember the, I don't know why this is doing this to me. So if I have a Cartesian plane, which is the x and the y, and if I have a line, that's a line, okay? I just drew any line. Technically, in order for you to be able to draw a line, you need 2 points. You need 2 points, okay? The 2 points could be as easy as finding your x-intercept. So this line is intersecting the x-axis, right, at this point. And knowing what your y-intercept is, you have the 2 points, you can draw the line. Okay? So if you find the x-intercept and the y-intercept, you can draw it. That's one way. Another way is to, let's write that down. Okay? So this is one way to graph a line. So the x and y intercept of a linear relation are where the line crosses the x's and the y axis respectively. Now I want you to look at this. We said that this is your x-intercept. You guys agree, right? Hopefully. Yeah? This is where the line is intersecting the x-axis, right? If I'm going to look at this point here, what would this point be?
0, 1.
So let's say this is 1, 2, this is 3. So what would this point be? 3, negative, yeah. And what would be the y value for it?
4.
It's got to be 0, right? Because right here, the y value is 0. Remember that with the Cartesian plane, with the x and the y, this point right here, which is your middle point right here, where they both intersect, this is the point 0, 0. Okay? So x is 0, y is 0. Do you guys know how to write a point? If not, I need to review that with you. So a point on the Cartesian plane is written in brackets. You write your x value first and your y value second. Alphabetical order, x, y. The x value is going to be on whatever the x on the horizontal line is, and the y value is whatever the value is on the vertical line. Okay? So let's say, for example, if I have a point right here, if I have a point right here, what is that point? What's the x value of that point? X is 4. Okay, the x value is 4, and the y value is 2. Okay, so that specific point is 4, 2. Okay, so when I'm asking you about a point, I'm looking for the x value of that point and the y value of that point. Okay, so going back to my x-intercept. X-intercept, it's going to have an x value of -3 in this case, and the y value is going to be 0. For any x-intercept, the y value is going to be 0. Okay? It's not going to change. If your x-intercept is, let's say, here, right? That's going to be 8, 0. Okay? If your x-intercept is here, that's going to be 4, 0. Okay? So you see that my common thing is that the y is equal to 0 for the x-intercept. Do you guys understand that?
This point is for just linear relation?
Yeah. Okay? So, I'm just going to erase these because they don't belong to my line, but I'm just showing you some examples, okay? So, for the x-intercept, what's the value of y? 0. So anytime you're finding the x-intercept, you're going to set y equal to 0. Okay? So when you have an equation, you're finding your x-intercept, you're going to set y equals 0, and then you're going to solve for x given coordinate point. This is going to be 0, sorry, x, comma, 0. Now, the y-intercept is right here. Can you give me the value of that point? What's the x value of that point? 0. Right? Because the x value is at 0. This is where my x value is. And then the y value is going to be 3. Okay? So, for the y-intercept, which value is 0? X or y? X. So to find your y-intercept, you're going to set x equal to 0. And then you're going to solve for y, giving coordinate 0, y. So, to find the x-intercept, you set y equal to 0. To find the x-intercept, the y-intercept, you set y equal. To find the y-intercept, you set x equals 0. And then to draw the linear relation, plot the x and y-intercept and draw a line between the 2 points. We're going to do an example so I show you exactly what I mean by all of this. Okay. So it's asking you to plot the line. They gave you the equation of the line. I just want to ask you guys, does this look like this? Does this look like this, but with values for A, B, and C? So what's A in this case? 2. Because that's the one with the x, right? What's the value of B? 1. It's an invisible one that's right here. Okay? What's the value of C?
6.
It's -6. Okay? So you see that A, B, and C, they're given values. Okay? It does look exactly the same. Okay? Now, find the x-intercept, what do I do? To find, what did I say first? Let's find the y-intercept first. So to find the y-intercept, what do I do? I'm going to go back here. To find the y-intercept, set x equals to 0. So, you see where your x is? You're going to replace your x by a 0. Okay? So it's going to be 2 times 0 plus y minus 6 equals 0. Are we okay with that so far? Y times, because the 2x, that means it's 2 times x, but we don't write that multiplication. Okay? So if you have a number and a letter next to each other, they're multiplied by each other. Okay? 2 times 0 is 0. So that's 0 plus y minus 6, and that's equal to 0. Can I add the numbers on the left side? So I have 0 minus 6. That's minus 6, right? So that's y minus 6 equals 0. Are you okay with this up to now?
No.
Are we going to do that so far?
You can write it like y equals to 6.
That's right. So I have to do one more step, right? But are we okay with these steps up to now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to leave y by itself. I can't keep y with the numbers with it, right? So I want to isolate for y. To do so, you're going to have to get rid of that negative 6. What's the opposite? If you want to get rid of negative 6, what do? You're going to bring it over, it becomes a positive, or you can add 6 to both sides, okay? So you probably have learned it in 2 different ways. You either bring it over and it becomes a positive, right? Or you have learned to add 6 to both sides, because okay, both would give you the same answer. Okay, I'll keep them. Okay? Are we okay with this? So this tells me that my y-intercept is at 6. What's the x value of the y-intercept?
0.
What's the x value? 0, comma, 6. Okay? Remember that this is your Cartesian plane. This is your x. This is your y. Okay? If I'm looking for 0.06, where would that be? So where is the 0 on the x-axis? It's in the middle, right? And then to go to 6, you're going to have to go up to 6. So that's where your point is. Okay? So you locate your x value first, whatever it is. So in this case, it's at 0, so it's right here. And then you go up to the 6. Now I found the y-intercept. I still have to find the x-intercept. Okay? I said that to find the x-intercept, I have to set y equal to 0. So I'm going to write the equation 2x plus y minus 6 equals 0. So I'm going to set the y equal to 0. So in this case, I'm going to replace y with a 0. Are we okay with that? Now, I have 2x plus 0 minus 6. So I can add the 0 and the minus 6. So that gives me minus 6. Now remember, I want to leave the letter by itself. This letter has too many numbers with it. So I want to get rid of the numbers. First, you want to get rid of the negative 6. Okay? So when you bring the negative 6 over, what does it become?
6.
Positive 6, yeah? It changes its sign. What's happening between the 2 and the x?
Divide.
What's happening right now?
Multiply.
Multiply. So right now you have 2 times x. If you are multiplying, what's the opposite of multiplying?
Division.
Division. So to get rid of that 2, you're going to have to divide by 2. So that gives you 3. Now it has to make sense. If I do 2 times 3, what does it give me? 6. Right? So that tells me that my x-intercept is at 3, 0. Okay? So 3, 0. If I right here, 3 is my x value, so I'm going to go on the x-axis and find 3. It's right here. And then the y value is 0, so I'm going to stay where I am. I'm not going to go anywhere, and that's where my x-intercept. You see that I have 2 points. I can join the 2 points and draw the line.